Detective stories have always held a soft spot in my heart. Typically in these situations, the detective is the guy with all the street smarts and can slide his way through any conversation to get to the truth, all while deducing how the scene of the crime is carried out. Then I spied the Premonition, which I can only assume involves a lot of rain, evidence collecting and deducing the clues to try and stop the killer before he strikes again. I mean, I'm fairly certain what this game is about, judging by the cover. They use words like mysterious and track down, and it looks like they're analysing evidence. I can't really judge a game, however, until I've actually given it a chance. So it's time to delve into the apparent cult classic that is Deadly Premonition.
Zach, they're here.
The disc is just verification that you paid actual money for it. After you put in the disc, you have to go into your Steam account, and then after that you have to enter in the product key, which is found roughly here. And then the game installs, and then you no longer need the disc or the case. So let's play. The settings. Allow me just 10 minutes to max out everything, see if it's perfect at 1024 frames per second, and then get bored with it and never play the game again. Graphics are totally the least important aspect of a game. They must be in the game then. I really have no idea what's going on. Maybe I missed something or... Wait a minute. My god! Instructions! I can read them, and... Oh yeah. Here's the thing. Back in October 2010, the release of Deadly Premonition for the Xbox 360 and PS3 finally came. And this was given by reviews anything from complete butthurt to the modern video game of art. In spring 2013, the director's cut of the game was released, but it was only released to PC via Steam 6 months later, when October was coming to a close. It was apparent that the people working on the PC port really had no idea how to port, which resulted in a game that had no customizing aspects, a game-breaking bug, and of course, stuck at 720p resolution in a windowed format. It was then up to the fans to create a patch, known as DP Fix. It was so bad that even the creator made a public apology on the matter. So after a few hours of trying to get the fan-made patch to work, I can finally feel the game's direction of storytelling in full screen. Just playing a game in windowed format just isn't the same. Anyway, the opening video shows what seems like a father and his twin sons are taking a walk down the lane. It's rather slow moving to begin with. The kids wander too far and come across a tree where they stare at it for a while. The music picks up and slowly reveals a rather eerie corpse of a half-naked woman, tangled in vines against a tree with a gut cut open. My god, is this beautiful. I mean, in the artistic sense. I don't find the fact that the woman, half-naked, with her hands covered with thorny vines and a bloody empty stomach, beautiful. But the scene as a whole. The way the leaves drift off slowly away from the trees, the camera angle between the twins and the woman, the way the music picks up at critical moments of the scene, how the light shines off the body to symbolise something that conflicts the actual action of this murder. It's really weird. I shouldn't find a dead girl with her stomach cut out beautiful, but the way the director has set it all out makes it all conflictingly stunning and marvellous. Upon starting a new game, you see a young girl holding up a cuddly toy, stepping through a door and asks her grandfather if she can hear a story.
I want to hear another story.
She sounds like twice her age. The old man accepts and tells her probably the most important story that she will hear. He then requests her to turn on the TV.
Leave the sound down, like always.
The scene then changes to a leafy surrounding of dark red autumn leaves scattered around the place, and you finally get to play. This gives you a quick insight about how to search and interact with your surroundings. Nothing makes sense, it's all weirdly peaceful, and I love it. Enter FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
Please, just call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
York is talking to someone about an abusive relationship and justifying it with some very coherent explanations.
Yeah, I know. He does terrible things to Tom. Nasty, even sadistic things. But that's fine, as long as that's what Tom wants. Think of it.
Cue Games general humour.
Proof? Well, in the Tom and Jerry show, they live with each other.
He then goes and talks to himself. I mean Zach. Oh, I mean you. Whatever. I'm sure he'll just do a lot of it in the course of the game. And then, in typical fashion, he sees our bad guy when not paying attention to the road, turns over and crashes into the forest.
Women, they're crazy. Don't you agree, Zach?
I think you should pay attention to the road. York, the road. Oh, god damn it, York, the road, pay attention to it. York! And now, finally, you can play the game. The aim of this section is to survive zombie attacks with various weapons and find evidence that can help you work out what is going on using York's unique profiling instincts. After collecting clues or evidence, you get to proceed to start profiling, which, with the more clues you obtain, will give you an increasing idea of what has happened based on an idea York has formed. This is a rather interesting aspect to have in the game, and keeps the player posted on what the detective is thinking about, so you can speculate alongside York. Also, you get paid if you profile. Yay. When you aren't fighting off zombies, you're travelling around town, going from point A to point B to meet more characters with distinct personalities in the most fantastic way possible. Driving a car. No, I mean it, it's sheer perfection. I mean, there are too many controls, but... there we go. Here, you can use the mouse to look around as you drive. You actually have the power to look left and right, view the scenery and chat to your passengers as you drive. It's a really nice effect that you can actually see them speak as well, like they're real humans. When you don't have passengers, then York will talk to you, Zach, whoever, about various things. It's incredibly amusing.
Back in '85, I think. Directed by Guy Hamilton. Guess Hamilton was aiming to start a series like 007, but it had no sequels.
Also for fun, you can get your fortune told in the coffee York will drink. It's like his superpower or something.
Here we are, far from civilization. Just who am I going to meet then? Of course, the one I really want to meet is the criminal. But I don't want to fall in love with him.
York actually reminds me of one Dale Cooper of the critically acclaimed series Twin Peaks.
We're glad to have you here.
Sheriff, what kind of fantastic trees have you got growing around here?
They both spend their time talking to someone you never physically see, evaluating confectionaries, and are very particular about their coffee.
Black as midnight on a moonless night.
Not only that, but they both go to a once thriving town out in the country where the lumber mill was once the centre of the universe against an almost mythical killer. Oh, how the on-foot gameplay screams Resident Evil 4. The walking in third-person view, using a laser pointer to aim all your firearms at, and the zombies are very similar to the horror classic by Capcom. However, the mouse movement is a little stiff and doesn't respond to mouse movement all that well. It's much easier just to slash at them, and you will go through so many steel pipes that when you complete the game, you could melt them all down and create a 10-foot statue of yourself. Your knife is sharp enough to deal damage, but it appears to be made with the durability of butter itself. If those break or melt or whatever, you can just use your standard gun to take them out. But this isn't effective because even if you do shoot them in the head, they don't go down. You have to shoot them like 3 times. And if you're in a narrow corridor when you kill a zombie, then you have to wait like a week before it disappears and then you can actually move on. On the bright side, you have an infinite stash of bullets and get paid for keeping a good personal hygiene, such as shaving. The perks of being an FBI agent, I guess. Damn FBI agents and the money-generating shaving devices. We have to settle for cheap razors that are about as effective as tinfoil with all the price of... graphics have a style that seems multicultural when sticking to its general theme all the time. The rain effect is a little heavy and obscures some of the finer detail during the first part of the game, however. Otherwise, there is a good level of detail in the closer characters wear, the images, and holy motherfucking Christ! The mirrors actually reflect you in real time! I cannot tell you how many times I have seen a mirror in a video game and it just does not reflect you at all, like you're a vampire or something. The gameplay is a mixture of semi-linear to open exploration. Annoyingly, you have no minimap when inside a building, which can make navigation a real pain. Literally, when you are in a new location, you have to open up the menu, go to the map, and explore from there. And you can't even zoom out any more than this, so you have to move around to get a general picture of your surroundings, which in itself I find very claustrophobic. I just find this to be a very terrible and inflexible navigation system. If you're looking for a hardcore gaming experience, then this really isn't the game for you. It's a very story-centered game, where character development and atmospheric consideration is the key aspect here, instead of hard-as-nails skills. You could say it's a detective simulator with shooting, but don't get me wrong, this is the best experience I've felt in a game in a long time. All the characters and their interactions feel so real. The game has also done a terrific job of making this engaging by keeping you on your toes throughout the entire game. Not paying attention could kill you. Why, hello. Oh, fuck. Bollocks. There will also be times when you need to press and hold the left control key to hold your breath. Normally I try this in any form of media with an and never take it seriously. However, this game somehow made me so engaged that I actually took the effort to do it all the way through. Even though I failed the first time, I thought the fair thing to do would be to let go of the button. I didn't have to, but the game was so good I felt like I had to abide to the character's situation. The game will constantly do this to you as you play throughout the game. It's bloody fantastic. Overall, I give this game a 9.4 out of 10. If Resident Evil 4 and Twin Peaks got together and started a family, then this would be their firstborn. There isn't much of a challenge in terms of gameplay, but it makes up for it tenfold in the story, surroundings, interactive aspects, and characters. It's sadist, it's sly, it's entertaining, and above all, it's clever. It takes you into a mind of a weird detective with a weird thought process, and it comes out as a masterpiece. The customizing settings are literally non-existent, unless if you add in a fan-made patch, but if you're not fazed by that, play it for the story and the role-playing aspects, because this is where the game hits all of the targets dead center.